Madden football is the home of Super Bowl 57, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Green Bay Packers and the Kansas City Chiefs. All that and more coming up next.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Countdown to kickoff and what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs taking on the NFC champions, the Green Bay Packers. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, for these Kansas City Chiefs, they, of course, were Super Bowl champions 3 years ago. The win over the Niners in Miami. They fell to the Bucs in Tampa a couple years back. They had the blown lead in the AFC title game against Cincinnati last year. And now they're back, making their third trip to the big game in 4 years.
And their recent history only increases the urgency to try and win another Super Bowl title with this group.
Meanwhile, the Packers are back as they look to bring another Super Bowl title home to a place aptly named Titletown.
And they're looking for their fifth win, which would tie them with the Cowboys and 49ers for second all-time. They did last win it in 2011. That was Super Bowl 45. Aaron Rodgers leading them over the Pittsburgh Steelers. But when you talk about titles, and you mentioned Titletown, they've won 13 championships overall when you count all the NFL titles prior to the Super Bowl era as well. So this is a town that's used to winning, and they expect to win this one as well.
It's finally time for the main event here in 2025. Away we go in Super Bowl 59.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Time to see the offense for Green Bay go to work. Aaron Rodgers leading them. What a career it's been. Came into the league back in 2005 as the number 24 pick out of Cal.
Well, we all know this past offseason that Aaron Rodgers had options, and there's a possibility he might leave Green Bay. But he chose to return to the only franchise he's known, and for the second time, has them playing in the Super Bowl.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. On play action, now Rodgers. And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on 3rd. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Now Rodgers. Toward the sideline, it's complete, an athletic grab, but still well short of the first. 5 yards, and that means they come up short, as they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive.
Were able to get the completion, but unfortunately not able to get the 3rd down conversion there on that play.
And I like how the defense approached that one. They knew where the first down marker was, and they decide whatever you want to have, you can. You're just not going to get the first down. Excellent tackling right there.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away.
fielded just inside the 30. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Time to see what Patrick Mahomes can do here with his first possession. The quarterback out of Texas Tech getting set to lead this KC Chiefs offense.
You can't help but continue to marvel at how well this man's career has gone so far. Now in his 5th season as KC starter, he's never missed a conference title game, and he's taking the field in his 3rd Super Bowl. Simply dominant, it's easy to envision him being one of the top quarterbacks for many years to come.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Holmes has got it complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on 1st down. They're ahead of the chains now.
On the carry, it's Holmes. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they're in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
From midfield, here's Mahomes. It's caught. Reception by Holmes.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Mahomes. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Gonzalez.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Throwing again on 2nd down. Mahomes. He finds his man complete. It's Holmes.
And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game. Like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
Now it's Mahomes again. He finds his man complete. It's Gonzalez.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Gets it to Hill. It's a jet sweep. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Here's Mahomes to throw. And they're going to get him.
They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. One quarter done, 3 more to play here in Super Bowl 57.
0-0 our score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Gonna need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company.
And we are back and ready to go for the second quarter of the Super Bowl. Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis, as always, thrilled to be with you. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. This a 33-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good, and the Chiefs are out to a 3-0 lead.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Packers ready to take over offensively.
This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. To throw is Rodgers. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
2nd down at 4.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A 6-yard pass on back-to-back plays. Picks up the 1st.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll get what he can up the middle. 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
It's a gain of 16 and a 1st down for the green and gold.
Well, a lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of the formation. and send him on a crossing route. And this works really well when you can find that space between levels, and they were able to do so for good yardage.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 47. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain could look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
They'll get only a couple down at 44. 2 minutes on the clock in the 2nd quarter of this Super Bowl. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Here's Rodgers. And the Chiefs are going to get him. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's Pat O'Donnell on now to punt it away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Kansas City taking the field for their 2nd drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Mahomes' throw caught by his receiver, Hill.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Mahomes going to throw. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Mahomes now on 1st down. He finds his man, complete. That's Gonzalez.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Now here's Mahomes. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Mahomes to throw once more. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. A run now with Holmes. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. So it's halftime here on sports' grandest stage in the Super Bowl. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome everyone to our brand new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in the Super Bowl. Taking it about the 1. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. And I think you'd have to say their coaching staff, all things considered, had to be pleased with their performance in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Definitely pleased, doing their best not to show it to their team, of course, because as you and I both know, their mantra all season long has been finish. Get the job done. They know how close they are to lifting that trophy. One more solid half of football, and they can do exactly that.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs on 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll start this drive out on the ground. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. To throw, it's Mahomes. Gets this one to Hill. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one loses the chance.
This has to go down as one of the simple routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Tyreek Hill's got another one. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Mahomes now to throw. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He finds his man, complete. That's Holmes. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes throwing the out route incomplete. That's Gonzalez. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 14. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Here's Holmes. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Throwing now is Mahomes. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches.
And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good, and that will double their lead as it's up to 6. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. All things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. Happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground, and they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Chris Jones that time coming in with a tackle behind the line.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Just one more quarter remains in the season-long race for the Lombardi Trophy here at Super Bowl 57 from Glendale. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back in the Super Bowl. Time to decide who gets to hoist that Lombardi Trophy as we begin the 4th and final quarter of action. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play out of while you've got them rocked on their heels.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rodgers. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 36. A nice pickup of 17 yards.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 36. Now Rodgers firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Rodgers to throw once more. That's going to be caught along the sideline, and what a job of keeping his feet in bounds. They say that's a catch. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. 1st down, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. Over the middle, complete. It's Adams. And the Packers are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. They come up on a 1st and goal and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and the PAT for the lead. This is caught. Stopped short. Down at the 1. Had the broken tackle, but couldn't get it all the way home. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so, but it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
Now Rodgers. And it's a Packers touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Packers are an extra point away from taking the lead in the 4th quarter of this Super Bowl. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused because they still have some work to do?
Now the biggest extra point of this man's life. And it is good, and his guys have taken the lead in the 4th quarter of the Super Bowl. That one in the books as a 12-play drive, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. Here comes Mahomes and the Chiefs. Down 7-6. Exactly 1 minute remaining. A field goal wins the Super Bowl, but work to do here on 1st and 10. Here's Mahomes. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time, but it'll be 2nd down. Mahomes to throw it. He finds his man, complete. It's Gonzalez. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
I think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
Counting down at 30 seconds remaining. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Mahomes. Complete. Valdez-Scantling at 5 yards. Not going to cut it here. That clock continues to run. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw taken in by Valdez-Scantling. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 38-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to almost certainly win the football game. And that's off the right upright. Thought it might sneak in, but it did not. It's no good. And that'll keep this a 1-point game.
Yeah, Brandon, that's a tough distance with the game on the line because you'd like to give your kicker better odds than that. Anything 50-plus, we know it's going to be difficult. And that one proved to be just a little too difficult. And now it appears it's going to cost him the football game.
Time for this one final knee to put a bow on this title bout. And the Lombardi Trophy is going back home. The Green Bay Packers are your Super Bowl champions. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all offseason, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.